No one ever really knew what an idol as big as Cha Eunwoo felt behind his gentle smile, his calm gaze, and his visual perfection that seemed to never crack. Even his mother, who knew him since he was a shy boy who only knew how to play ball and read comics in their small living room in Gunpo, often said that Eunwoo was a child who grew up with a heart too big to put into words. But never once did he imagine that a simple sentence that came out of his son's mouth, one so honest, so unfiltered, so crossing the line between a celebrity and an ordinary human being, would make him stare, fall silent, and then cry without being able to stop it. The event took place silently, with no camera glare, no army or Aroha shouting. No media flash, no grand stage, no cheers or microphones. It happened in a modest room, a few days after Cha Eunwoo's premiere performance at APEC 2025 that made the world stare at him not just as a K-pop artist, but as a Korean cultural icon who exuded charm in the middle of an international forum. The world praised his composure, his authority, his elegant manners, and his mature ability to speak far beyond his years. International magazines refer to him as the new face of Korea's cultural diplomacy, while local media refer to him as a perfect example of a Generation 4 idol who has risen to the world diplomacy stage. But after all the cheering died down, after the makeup was removed, after the suit that stunned the public was hung back in the closet, Eunwoo went home to his mother, without a camera, without care, without public, just a boy who came home after a hard week that he didn't even tell anyone about. Her mother did not expect anything. He just thought Eunwoo was coming home because he missed his cooking, just like old times. Just like when Eunwoo came home from the first filming schedule of Gangnam Beauty, when he came home from filming his debut as an MC, or when he came home secretly after a concert abroad because he wanted to smell his mother's home cooking. But that day was different. Eunwoo didn't smile right away. He did not hug his mother. His eyes were a little red, not because they were tired, but because they had held something for too long undisclosed. And when her mother saw that, her instinct as a mother went straight to work. "Eunwoo, what's wrong?" he asked slowly. What followed was one of the most emotional moments of the little family's life, and a moment that has now become a byword, a source of excitement and at the same time inspiration for the millions of fans who heard about it. Eunwoo sat down, took a deep breath, and said a sentence that he had never even said to anyone, not even to the other ASTRO members. "Mom, I'm tired of being perfect." That was the word that shocked his mother. It wasn't because Cha Eunwoo was being rude, not because it sounds dramatic, but because the sentence is honest. Honest in a way that revealed the entire burden that Eunwoo had been hiding behind her gentle smile. He never said that before. Not on debut. Not when ASTRO lost Moonbin. Not when he was standing on the award stage. Not when he was a movie actor. Not when he became a global luxury brand ambassador. Not when the Korean public dubbed her the perfect face of Korea. Not when he appeared at APEC 2025 with incredible confidence. Never. His mother froze. His hands were shaking. He was not used to hearing his son say such words. All this time he believed Eunwoo was fine, because he always gave the impression of being strong, mature, and never complained. But the sentence opens a door that has been locked tight. The fragile side of an artist who lives under the spotlight of the world. Eunwoo then continued with a trembling voice, "Mom, I'm afraid to disappoint everyone. They say I'm perfect, but sometimes I feel like I'm not myself. Everything I do has to look flawless. I can't be wrong. I can't be sad. I can't look confused. Even when I'm tired, I have to keep smiling. And at APEC, everyone saw me not as me, but as the perfect picture of Korea. I'm proud, ma'am, but at the same time it's very heavy." Her mother closed her mouth, trying to hold back the tears, but her tears just fell. "Gosh, Eunwoo, why did you just say now?" he said, holding his son's hand. Eunwoo smiled weakly. "I'm afraid to make Mom worry." And that sentence made her mother cry even harder. In that room, an international superstar returns to being a fragile boy, and a mother again becomes the only place she can put all the weight that the world has put on her shoulders. News of this moment first surfaced through a staffer close to the family, who claimed to have seen the mother come out of the room with puffy eyes but a visibly relieved face. He did not reveal details, but said that Cha Eunwoo finally spoke the truth about something he kept for a long time. The media investigated. Close sources mentioned that after performing at APEC, the pressure heaped on Eunwoo reached a high point. The spotlight of the world, the diplomatic responsibilities, the demands of perfect visuals, the schedules between the filming of the drama, the preparation of the film, and ASTRO's comeback, which is being planned, make him have to take care of the image nonstop. Not to mention the emotional trauma that hasn't completely gone away after losing Moonbin, her best friend, her brother, her stage partner, and one of the closest people in her life. That pressure made Eunwoo finally speak honestly to the only person who wouldn't judge him, his mother. According to the source, after saying the shocking sentence, Eunwoo and his mother spoke for almost 2 hours. She talks about how she doesn't want to appear weak in public, how she feels she has to keep her standards high to inspire fans, and how she sometimes feels alone despite being surrounded by people. The words came out of a very deep place, said a relative who knew the family. All this time he was silent, but that day he couldn't hold back any longer. Her mother gave the most sincere response ever spoken in her life as a mother. Eunwoo, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be happy. That's all. And that sentence, simple but full of warmth, broke down Eunwoo's entire defensive wall. He was crying. Not like the cry of a grown man who holds back feelings, but like a child who has finally found a place to let go of all burdens. Her mother hugged her like she used to, when Eunwoo was 8 years old and was afraid to perform on the school stage because she was too shy. After that, Eunwoo looked much calmer. He decided to give himself a short break. Not long, not dramatic, not until the official hiatus. Yet enough to breathe, enough to be himself without a camera. When this news leaked to the media, the public reaction was explosive. Korean media wrote, "Behind Cha Eunwoo's perfection lies a tired heart, and he finally speaks." International fans flooded social platforms. "Eunwoo, you don't have to be perfect for us. We still love you even when you're not strong. He's human. Let him breathe." While Aroha wrote thousands of digital letters, "Thank you for being honest. We are here for you, not for your perfect version. You are not alone." Some analysts of Korean culture have commented that this moment is crucial in Cha Eunwoo's journey, not just as an artist, but as an individual trying to stand tall amid overwhelming global expectations. "This is not a weakness," says a media psychologist. "This is a sign that Cha Eunwoo has finally found a safe space to admit that he is an ordinary human being, and that, more than his perfect visuals, is what makes him lovable." But the most emotional moment came from her own mother. After Eunwoo's words went viral, a local reporter briefly interviewed him. He did not reveal details, but said one sentence that again left the public speechless. "I just want him to be happy. The world may see him as perfect, but to me, he's still my little boy." That's the whole point. Not the international stage. Not an award. Not a perfect visual. It's not the most famous Korean celebrity, but a mother's relationship with her child. The relationship that finally made Eunwoo dare to open up and tell the truth. The relationship that left his mother in shock. Not because she was disappointed, but because she was so touched to hear that her son finally dared to show his fragile side. And that relationship is now an inspiration to millions of fans. That no matter how tall someone stands on the world stage, they are still human beings who need a place to go home. That night, after all the honest words were said, Eunwoo and his mother ate together. Just simple home cooking: seaweed soup, bulgogi meat, and hot rice. Yet Eunwoo smiled throughout the meal, a genuine smile, not a smile for the camera, and the mother cried silently while watching her son eat. Not because it's sad, but because finally, after years of being a world figure, Eunwoo was back to being himself. And it all started with one sentence that surprised him. Not an inferiority sentence, not a desperate sentence,